Hello and welcome to Dateline Abuja. I'm Kayla Magwa. Insecurity is still a huge problem across the country, and it's colored every national discourse, including the presidency. This week, President Muhammadu Buhari presided over a security meeting at the Villa, met with the United States Secretary of State and the governor of Borno State, one of the states worst hit by insurgency. Also this week, the National Assembly is lamenting on the poor state of security in the country. It's time for Abuja Wrap.
Following cases of insecurity across regions of the country, President Muhammadu Buhari is seeking the help of the United States government to contain the situation in the country. During a virtual meeting with the U.S. Secretary of State, Mr. Anthony Blinken, President Buhari also wants the U.S. to consider relocating its Africa Command from Germany to Africa, nearer to the theater of operation.
The security challenges in Nigeria remain of great concern to us and impacted more negatively by existing complex negative pressures in the Sahel, Central Africa, and West Africa, as well as the Lake Chad region. Compounded as the situation remains, Nigeria and her security forces remain resolutely committed to containing them and addressing their root causes. The support of important and strategic partners like the United States cannot be overstated, as the consequences of insecurity will affect all nations, hence the imperative for concerned cooperation and collaboration of all nations to overcome these challenges. Considering the growing security challenges in West and Central Africa, the Gulf of Guinea, Lake Chad region, and the Sahel, weighing heavily on Africa, underscores the need for the United States to consider relocating AFRICOM headquarters from Stuttgart in Germany to Africa and near the theater of operations.
Meanwhile, the president presided over a security meeting. The meeting was attended by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, as well as the service chiefs. Other attendees include the Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Magashi, the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, and the Acting Inspector General of Police, Mr. Usman Alkali Baba. Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State met with the president over the worsening insecurity in the northeast region of the country. Briefing State House correspondents after the meeting, Governor Zulum condemned the growing spate of attacks.
Brigade headquarters were attacked. Many soldiers, men and officers of the Nigerian army were killed. Let me use this opportunity to extend my condolences to the families of the deceased. May God in His infinite wisdom forgive them. And I think it is my own responsibility to come and say the truth to Mr. President. Let him know what is going on in the entire Northeast sub-region. I think there is a need for us to get support for us to succeed in this war against insurgents. It's very pathetic. A few days ago, Damasak was attacked. Hundreds of people started fleeing Damasak. And now, Gadam, it's almost disaster. Many people have left Gadam. The military are yet to receive some of the equipment that they have ordered for.
President Buhari also met with the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. After the meeting, he told State House correspondents that the security situation of the country requires serious evaluation and management.
Every nation will go through these curves and difficult times. And how we communicate it to the people, what are the areas to help make it easier for people to bear. Those are ideas you have to be able to exchange with the leadership of of the country. Cooperation, understanding, and determination, effective security, effective information. There's no president or leader that will want his nation fractured in tribalism, religious differences, and others. And it calls for serious management and serious evaluation and dialogues once in a while.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, says President Buhari is dealing with a very difficult situation as it relates to the security challenges in the country. He made the remark after a closed-door meeting with the President in the company of the House Majority Leader, Mr. Alassane Doguwa.
We will always speak about state of security because that's number one. We'll speak about the security situation, we'll speak about the economy, we'll speak about the politics of it all. And we have always at least, he has a listening ear, and we profile ideas, he tells us his own views, and we come to some consensus one way or the other.
What exactly do you speak?
What? No, that's some of these things you cannot be privy to them for now. We're still working on a way out. All I will always say, I say it all the time, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. The president is dealing with a very, very difficult situation, and he's as passionate as anybody else to bring it to closure. And we are here to help him bring it to closure.
But the president should get to know that it has gotten to a point that we who are supporters, who are members of the APC, we can no longer keep quiet.
In the meantime, federal lawmakers are lamenting the rising security situation in the country. The lawmakers were reacting when the motions were brought in the Senate and the House of Representatives, albeit at separate times. They want the government to take action to address the situation. President Buhari has assured that Nigeria will deepen its collaboration with Zambia for the benefit of the African continent. The president said this when he received a special envoy from President Edgar Lungu. President Buhari also met with the second vice president of the Pan-African Parliament, Madam Haidara Aichata Sise. She's also a member of the Malian Parliament. The president presided over the 43rd Virtual Federal Executive Council meeting. The meeting discussed the worsening poverty level in the country and approved a new policy strategy to address the menace.
It's not as if government is not aware that there's poverty in the land, but things are being done. And one of it is this National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy that was presented today. The council also noted that the president had pledged to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. Actually, by June 12 this year, that promise will be 2 years old. It was noted that it is work in progress, and it is work that will get done. We have a target, 100 million Nigerians in 10 years. This government will do the best it can do up to its terminal date in 2023, and subsequent governments will then continue.
Welcome back. The Federal Capital Territory Administration wants to vaccinate an additional 50,000 people by the 3rd of May 2021, and that figure will come from local communities in the FCT. Well, we wanted to see how that was going to work, considering the many conspiracy theories causing vaccine hesitancy across the country. So, we went to Sabori Village, a place almost an hour away from Abuja's city center. And what we found was quite interesting. Please watch this. The 10-day vaccination drive of the FCT is aimed at vaccinating 50,000 people in the communities around the nation's capital. The plan is to mobilize volunteers in these communities across the 6 area councils. The Abuja Municipal Area Council is expected to vaccinate 35,000 persons, 6,000 for Buari Area Council, 4,000 for Gwagwalada Area Council, 2,500 for Kuje Area Council, 1,500 for Kwali, and 1,000 for Abaji. Saburi village is almost an hour away from the city center, located in the Abuja Municipal Area Council in the Gwagwa district. As I make my way to the palace of the Dakachi Saburi, who himself has been vaccinated, I try to find out why he is in support of the COVID-19 vaccination and why he has opened his palace to be the vaccination center for his village.
Don Allah ko mai mun gogi ban samu damuwa ba na samu lafiya na a yanzu mai ma arula na samu wata daya ma ajiwa ban samu masalan ba to dole ne zan ce aya a ko na ina da masala ba zan yi fada haka ba inda ce ai ma arula ban samu masalan ba.
One by one, the villagers trickle in to get vaccinated.
The people are very happy for them to receive immunization. And there are some challenges with some people that they say they don't like this thing, government is trying to just, they will not, after some years, they will die with all this. Then I told them that if there is anything like that, government will not make us bring it to us. And they will not tell people to take it. I give some example. If you go and buy paracetamol, do you know how the paracetamol was made? They say no. You buy it with faith and you take it and you are okay. They say yes. Okay. You don't know how this vaccine was made. The people that are there, the government are there, make sure that the vaccine are very good, are effective and good to prevent COVID-19. And you are saying no. So I don't know. We are trying to convince some people, but they are able to agree. Some say no.
Saburi is a poor village of slightly over 100,000 people, mostly of Digbagi extraction. Skeptics sit around the palace watching people get vaccinated, trying to make up their own minds. Others take the plunge. However, not everyone in Saburi is excited about getting vaccinated.
How can you prevent us from waiting all day?
Others believe it's an awareness issue.
As at last year, we know what happened based on COVID-19. And really, we've been hearing it on TV. And even in my office where I work, I've been vaccinated where I work. And really, I will advise people to take this vaccine because it's really good based on what is happening in the country.
The tide picks up at the palace as more villagers come out to be vaccinated. So far, the nation's capital has recorded 1 case of serious adverse effects following the vaccination and 42 non-severe cases. It is a momentum the FCT administration hopes will continue. Vaccine hesitancy is mainly a product of a lack of trust in government and its instruments. How do we build that trust among the people? My guest walks us through this challenge and how the FCT administration plans to attain herd immunity. Dr. Akonde, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Thank you, Kayla.
There's a plan really to vaccinate about 50,000 people by the 3rd of May, and this is a 10-day drive.
Yeah.
And you're saying that those numbers have to come from rural communities in the FCT. Yeah. We were in Saburi a few days ago, to look at the vaccination drive there, and we did notice a few issues. One of them being that there's a lot of vaccine hesitancy in rural areas, and there are many people who still do not have all the information that they need to have about COVID-19. What's been done about that by the FCT authorities?
COVID vaccine is a new technology, and over time, vaccination have been proven to be safe and effective towards preventing highly infectious diseases. But because the vaccine is new, so a lot of people are apprehensive. There is a lot of confusion. There is a lot of misinformation, myths and conspiracy theories out there on the social media, even on our common other medias. So what happened is that there is confusion in the whole world, not only affecting Nigeria. So the hesitancy is driven majorly by 3 factors. Number one is the confidence that people have in the vaccine. And what do I mean by confidence? Confidence is the trust that people have in the process of this vaccine production, confidence they have in the system that delivers it, and confidence that they have in the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine. So this confidence is being jeopardized due to misinformation out there. And if you look back, misinformation during epidemic or pandemic is not unusual. It's something that goes and flows with pandemic whenever it happens. So we need to deal with the root cause of this infodemic, because it's infodemic on its own, it's another pandemic that we have to deal with. So I will still come to that. Another factor is complacency. The complacency of the people are those low risk, low perceived risk that people have towards highly infectious, vaccine-preventable diseases. So they think it is not important for them to get the vaccine in the first place. That is what we are getting from the people. And thirdly, we talk about convenience. Convenience is that geographical or physical accessibility to vaccination, or maybe affordability in terms of financial factor, or maybe the mode of delivery of the vaccination to the community. So all these 3 factors drive what we are experiencing currently, which is vaccine hesitancy. So in order to address the issue of hesitancy, we need to communicate the right information to the people. So we've been engaging communities, sensitizing them on the need to take the vaccine, on the importance of vaccination, and we tell them that vaccine is proving to be safe and highly effective against all these diseases, particularly COVID-19. And in terms of convenience, we've come up with some strategies to take the vaccine to the doorstep of the people, rather than for them to be looking around for the vaccination center, which could create a kind of barrier to accessibility. So we are taking the vaccine to them so that they will have free, unhindered access to vaccination.
I noticed that you're using traditional rulers in those rural communities. In fact, the vaccination center in Saburi 1 is the chief's palace.
Yeah.
He actually gave his palace. How has that been working, you know, talking with traditional rulers and getting them to buy in with this particular drive?
Yes, I
mean, it was refreshing to see the Saburi chief, you know, being on board with it, getting vaccinated himself, and, you know, trying to get everyone to do the same thing. But how has it been? Has it been the same story across board with other traditional rulers in the FCT?
Yes, thank you very much. A lot of traditional rulers have been quite supportive. Most of them have taken the vaccines. And you know, leadership matters when you are talking about decision making. So these are the role models, to the people in the community. When an individual notices that, okay, my community leader has taken the vaccine, they will be motivated to take. So the leaders have been quite encouraging and supportive in this drive to vaccination. And you know, they are the gatekeepers to all these communities. And beyond them, we still have religious leaders and other leaders in every facet of life. So we are engaging them, we're mobilizing them, and we've sensitized a whole lot of them so that they could buy into this COVID vaccination process.
But why rural communities? Why did you decide? Why did the FCT decide that these numbers have to come from rural communities?
Well, thank you very much. So far, so good. FCT has been able to vaccinate quite large numbers of people.
We're talking health workers, military personnel,
Yeah, exactly.
frontline workers. But why rural communities next?
Yeah, that's where I'm still going to get to that. So when we sit back and look at the trend of the uptake, we discover that a lot of people that took the vaccine, they are concentrated in the urban area of FCT. So there is a need to get the vaccine down to the people in the community who actually are at high risk of contacting COVID-19. That is what is driving us. And we want to encourage them because this is not the first time we are vaccinating in the community. We've carried out a whole lot of mass vaccination exercises in the past. Something like yellow fever vaccination we carried out in the community, and it has been quite successful.
Is it the same template that you used for other vaccination exercises that you're using for this, or did you have to create a new one for COVID-19?
Yeah, this is quite different because we are in an emergency mode because of the low uptake. People are hesitant to take the vaccine. So we came up with like some levels of strategies that could help us to drive the uptake. So we set up mobile team. It consists of like 3-man team consisting of a vaccinator and 2 recorders. So they move out from offices, from strategic leadership positions and institutions like banks, like petrol stations, like various, even including the villa. We've taken the vaccine down to all these strategic places so that they could have free access to the vaccination. So secondly, we set up night vaccination team. That is quite interesting because we are in a special and holy month of Ramadan in which a lot of people gathered in the mosque to pray and to break their fast as a community, as in groups. So we tend to reach out to them to drive the uptake, and that is the second strategy we took. And the third strategy is vaccination in the markets. So we've been to various markets in FCT. We've entered the market community. We've engaged, we've mobilized, and we've sensitized market leaders.
Thank you so much, Dr. Akonde, for being here with us on Dateline.
Thank you for having me.
If you have been lied to, used, and abused for a long time, you may seem fine, but you really aren't. Trust is broken. That's what's happened between the Nigerian government and its people. There is so much distrust, and you can't blame people for being that way. You can't tell them to just get over it. No. As a government, you have to build that trust. Think about it. COVID-19 is a life and death situation, and yet many people, because of their distrust of the government, are willing to take a chance on death instead of taking a free vaccine from the government. If the plan is to attain herd immunity from the coronavirus, there's still so much work that needs to be done. That's our program this week. Please let us know the happenings in your neighborhood using the social media handles showing right now on your screen. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kayla Magwa. See you next time.